Hello everybody and welcome to Parks Bros. It's Drew here, and we finally have another West Coast Racers construction update. Thanks to our good friend John, who was visiting Magic Mountain on the 30th. I know this video is coming out on the 1st, but when this video comes out, I will be in Galaxy's Edge. So don't be surprised if I don't respond to any comments right away. But here is a great look of all the track and all the new supports that have shown up in the past week or so. Good 5 or 6 more pieces of track for sure, at least. A lot of those curved pieces are coming in, which is looking great, and a good 20 to 30 plus support beams. There's tons of metal in that lot right there. But here's a great look at the brake run, as well as some of the extra support beams that they have probably put in by now. But it's very cool to see all of that going on. There's tons of supports on site. Most of the footers are done by now, actually, and they have made these supports get all the way to the 2nd and 4th launches in that trench. So that's great news. You can see some of the footers finished here, as well as some of the supports on the back of that truck. And I really am excited to see how the rest of this pans out, because it's looking great so far. But here's a great look at the transfer track that is pretty much done. At least the supports for that, the base for the transfer track, looks to be pretty close to done, as well as drive tires have been put in for the station, as well as the transfer track and the brake run. It seems, at least leading into those launches right there, the drive tires have definitely been put in. And there's also an extra piece or two on the yellow side leading into the high 5 element, but that's looking great. Hopefully the high 5 element is done in the next 2 or 3 days, but we'll just have to wait to see what happens with that, because it has been a week since our last update, and they've only done really support work as well as finishing up that transfer track area, which we will get another look at that from a different angle just in a moment. But here is more look at the supports going in, as well as footers being finished near the brake runs. And I think this is really awesome to see all of the footers. There's so many footers. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. Like, how many footers did you have to have for this ride? That's my question. I'm guessing upwards of 250 at least. But here's a great shot of the high 5 element, or at least the track leading into it. It's kind of interesting how you do have those LSM stators going up into that element. But I think that's just to give it an extra boost. And I know a lot of people have been theorizing why those stators are spaced in that way, and I actually think it might be a bit of theming, possibly for gear shifts. That would be pretty cool to see, but also it's at such a tight interval that might be hard to replicate. But here's a good look at pretty much where those new supports are in, right after the Top Gun stall that will be happening. That still needs to be put in, and I'm sure they're waiting for track to do that, but the supports are in on the other side of that element, and it's looking great. That is all leading into where the supports will be, or already are, for the trench launches, that 2nd and 4th launch. But there's another look at the transfer track right there. But those supports look funky as all heck, like kind of ridiculously. It's kind of funny to look at those and see all the other supports that are just all kind of hectic. But I mean, that's kind of what this ride is going to be known for, just crazy supports. But it does look like that transfer track piece is actually already in. No, that's just an optical illusion, my bad. But there is a support in for the transfer track, so that's great to see. Here's an up-close look at that transfer track. Oh no, it is track in the transfer track. How crazy is that already? And you can see the drive tires are there as well, and the actual transfer track is on that conveyor belt system for the transfer, and that is actually where the pit stop element will be. So the pit stop element, as we've been thinking, might have something special with the track. It does not look like that's the case by how that is. But that is our final clip of everything, and it's a great overhead shot of the high 5 element, especially there. It looks fantastic with track in, and I can't wait to see all of this finished up, hopefully in the next month, maybe month and a half. It did take a week for another couple pieces of track, and I mean a ton of supports, as we've seen. But we'll just have to wait and see how long it takes track to get in to all these places, as well as that spaghetti bowl section to be finished up. But huge thanks to John for sending this in. Make sure to follow his Instagram. It's down in the description below. Make sure to go follow it. He's got some great Planet Coaster stuff on there. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe if you have not. We're going to have tons of stuff, as well as especially Galaxy's Edge content in the next coming weeks. But until then, we'll see you on the next ride.